Okay, this is another Intelligentsia Cup analysis video. I'm actually recording this on the same day as the other video. I just changed my shirt, so see what I'm doing here? I tricked you. I just posted this later on YouTube. Anyways, what are we doing here? It's a kermesse. So race is like a road race. Course was incredibly beat up on this stretch. And then at the end of it, there's a real beat up corner here. You can see here. You can't take that inside or you're going to just absolutely die. This last little corner here, a lot of people were braking into, but people were just gassing it out of there. And then it's just some long stretches. So the long stretches were super important to stay protected from the wind. Then you be coming to this 180, and I couldn't figure out anyone else's line. It was really hard to predict. So here you can see I'm just soaring, kind of surfing my way through the field there. But again, on these long stretches, the name of the game during this race was just stay protected. So here you can see I'm on the right-hand side, protected from the wind coming from the left-hand side. That was like the most important piece of a race like this, right, is staying protected from the wind. So when you go the other way, you got to stay on the left-hand side. People were relatively good at guttering people so that it wasn't super easy. This is a Cat 3 field, so we know a thing or two. Then this section here, everyone gassed it, so you just got to kind of tuck in, get aero, sit behind a wheel, and then once you get to the long stretch again, it eases up a little bit and you stay on the right-hand side. So this corner was a bit tricky. I was pedaling through it. Sometimes it was a 180. I definitely pedal straight. I hit my pedal like twice, so I don't know what I was thinking, but it was also kind of difficult because it was kind of hard to tell where other people's lines were going to go. So I was having some difficulty with this corner. You're going to see later another example of this. But by sitting in, you kind of got to be a little bit careful of potential crashes. Other sections you can stay protected in the wind and then move up. So I'm sticking my head out in the wind a little bit here. There's a little bit of a break up the road, but I'm sticking my head out a little bit and then moving up a good number of positions, still protected from the wind coming from the right-hand side there. But, again, on these long stretches, it's just incredibly vital to stay protected from the wind in a big race like this. It's a longer race, so they counted by laps, so it ended up being a much longer race than the 50-minute crits that you do. But if you sit in, you got to be a little careful because there's crashes in races like this. You can see here, it takes out a good amount of the field. I almost hit this barrier. I get lucky because Ben kind of let me in here, kind of say thanks there. And then again, a second crash later. This one was much worse because I was like already pinched here on the corner. I kind of just dodged it by inches, and then the guys behind me, unfortunately, they didn't have as much space as I did, so they crashed. And that just means, I have to catch back on. It's a kermesse. It's basically a road race, right? So you have to catch back on. There's no free laps. And you can see here, I'm just going to work with one other guy and then try to catch back on. It took a lot out of me. I was doing like high threshold power and basically really draining. And then another group catches on, a faster group. I sit on that wheel. I sit on this group a little bit. By the time I get to the front of this, it's again that 180 corner. And I wanted to be at the front specifically for this because I wanted to take this corner how I wanted to. And you can see here, it wasn't great. Looking back at the footage, it looked okay. In the race, I said sorry, but I don't know. That's how this, how that corner played out, right? So here we are again. You can see I'm losing contact a little bit, but I eventually do catch back on. And that was basically my race because I was just gassed by that point. So, yeah, I sit in a little bit. My GoPro eventually dies. And then after the 180, I just couldn't move up further enough to contend the field sprint. So I did an okay job. I kind of stay up there, but it wasn't enough to win the race. So I kind of just brought it in a little leisure. So thanks for watching and subscribe. And hopefully you'll see the next two races, how those play out well, too. So thanks for watching.